you go for entertainment? For the hottest topics on television, from sports and fitness to fashion and love, there's only one place to be: Platinum Air TV.
I'm Carmine. I'm going to cut to the chase and give it to you straight.
And I'm Joe. I'm the #1 sports handicapper on the planet, and I know everything there is to know.
If you're in it to win it, we've got exclusive inside information.
And if you want to be a millionaire like me, don't blink, because you might miss something.
Welcome to Uncensored Sports and Gambling. I'm Carmine the Hardline.
And I'm Joe D'Amico.
We got a stack-packed show for you today. Let's get started. All right, I want to introduce our special guest today, Michael Sartain. Michael, thanks for joining the show.
Hey, thank you guys. Man, I'm a big fan. I saw your last episode. It was terrific.
Excellent. Let's get started with our first segment tonight. It's Batter Up. All right, Batter Up is our first segment. Here's where we bring you the hottest news in sports and gambling. Gentlemen, to say that the NBA playoffs are rolling is an understatement. It's the intensity, the speed of the game is changing. It's changing right in front of our eyes, and it's doing it because there's players that are in the league a year or two, and they're just bringing it to it. All right, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, Victor Oladipo, these guys are bringing the game to another level. I wish that Cleveland would have done something like this to help LeBron James out. Joe, you said it last show. Be careful when you're betting these games. You're right. The playoffs do last 2 months. May 31st is when the championship game is.
Well, Carmen, you mean they start at the end of May, they go through mid-June. But I am proud of you for getting through all those names, because normally you're hooked on everything but phonics. I'm proud of you. I want to tell you right now, Carmine, this is a time of year where people go to people like me, professional handicappers. I was 3-0 last night, wins on Toronto, Boston, New Orleans. I'm documented #1 in the world in NBA, over 60% for the season. Guys, I want you to know, you can look at the entire breakdown for the brackets. Carmine, Houston will be facing Golden State in the West.
I agree.
And I'll be honest with you, it'll take a miracle for anybody to beat Toronto on the East. They should be going against Boston, but I will tell you this. If this becomes a Houston, and I think Houston can upend Golden State without a doubt. Golden State, whether Steph Curry's in there or not, yes, it does make a difference, our viewers, but I want you guys to know something. Very few teams could keep up this team offensively. Houston can. The problem is Golden State's defense, they do give up a lot of points, especially in transition. I will tell you this. The one thing I'm worried about is if this goes to be a Houston-Toronto finals, this will be a very poor-rated NBA finals.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It will be poor-rated, but I think going on the way to the finals, we're going to see some great basketball.
Michael? One thing I got to disagree with you about is I think that if Joel Embiid is healthy, Philadelphia is better than this Boston team that doesn't have Kyrie Irving anymore. Mm-hmm. And he's one of the guys that you guys talked about before. What's happened is there's these athletes that are coming out. They're 7 feet tall, but they can handle the ball. They can shoot threes.
They can shoot threes.
It is not like it was back in the 80s. This small ball thing has happened. The good part about it is you have a more exciting pace of basketball. The bad part about it is you have teams like You have teams like Houston who don't play any defense. They switch on everything. You were talking about Karl Anthony Towns earlier. A really great example. They're playing the Rockets. They switch everything, and you have Chris Paul, who's 6'1", guarding a 7-foot Karl Anthony Towns. But they're not throwing it to him in the post because everyone just shoots threes and runs up and down the court. This is not the NBA that we remember back in the 80s where guys would clothesline each other and you would throw it into Kareem, you throw it into Tim Duncan, Shaq, Hakeem Olajuwon. That all seems to be gone. And that's why you see teams like Houston that literally don't shoot mid-range jump shots. All they do is shoot three-pointers. Cleveland is the same way. This is a very different league than we remember.
I do agree with Michael. By the way, even with Michael on the paddle, I'm still the best-looking son of a bitch on the paddle.
I agree.
Guys, I do want you to know, though, I do agree with Michael. I think Philadelphia is a great team, but there's a big if on Joel Embiid. I will tell you this. And I do think that Miami matches up well with Philly, Michael.
Real quick, Houston set a record for the team that attempted more three-point shots than they did on two-point shots. Let's move right into Major League Baseball. Joe, Michael, what teams are dealing with right now in this early spring? It's snow, sleet, rain, wind. It's affecting some of the standings. Some of these teams are really struggling. You got players that are not hitting the ball well. Stanton, they're dropping him down in the lineup, Joe. Here's what I do want to mention. You were right 2 weeks ago when you said Red Sox.
I'm always right.
When you said the Red Sox had the highest payroll in baseball, and the highest payroll is paying off. They're 14-2 right now.
Very good team. I will tell you this. The AL East, very competitive. It will be down between them and the New York Yankees. New York Yankees still got to get their feet. They got some new people in the lineup, a new manager. It's going to take a while. The Central, very interesting. You know, you've got Kansas City, who is absolutely shitting the bed. Some of the poorest offensive numbers in baseball.
They won 3 games.
Rolling in the cellar. They're horrible, I'll tell you right. The three of us and 6 other middle-aged white guys can beat them. Cleveland is at the top, but it's a very, 6 games separate the entire division. The West, I want to talk about very quickly, and then I want to hand it over to Michael. I want to go over to NL and hand it over to Michael. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, I want you to know about this team. When you've got starters that were playing AAA for the first time, and they're moved up playing, they're making their major league debuts, and you've got 13-4, it's because you're scoring 7 runs a game. They're a monster team. The NL East, New York is reigning supreme over Washington, who was the prognosticated favorite. All right, last year they had one of the 5 best pitching staffs in baseball. No run support. I want to talk about the Central real quick. Pittsburgh, 11-6. I want you to know they're not like they're stealing pedophiles, but I want you to know something. Chicago showing once again no leadership on this team. They're 7-8. The tightest division in baseball last year, Carmine, the West, Arizona, Colorado, LA 6-9. You got two of the best pitchers in the game are 1-4 between them. Arizona and Colorado will be winning games. San Francisco, even though they're dwelling in the cellar, will get some wins too. Michael, baseball.
Listen, all I can say about this is, as a Texas Rangers fan, it sucks this year. But I'll tell you what, man, those summers, those springs and summers in Texas, going out to the ballpark in Arlington, those were brutal. And we kind of welcome some of this weather. But like you said before, such a different sport. We were talking about basketball before. There's no hard cap, and you can do these things and outspend other teams. It's just very different than
I agree on the cap.
I got to
get in.
Right, go ahead, it's time. Carmine's right. Out of a gambling point of view, the numbers in baseball are being affected. The totals are being affected. Yeah. So watch your totals. You always want to check weather day of the game and start of the game, guys. Carmine.
Time to celebrate the Las Vegas Golden Knights. They did it. They swept the Kings. They did it in 4 games. They continue to set records. They're going to move now into the division finals. They got plenty of rest. They're the first team to clinch. You got to talk about Fury for a second. In 4 games, he's let up 3 goals. There was a double overtime period, so 14 periods total, he's let up 3 goals. It looks like we're going to meet the Sharks in the next round. Joe, the town's going crazy. If you look at New York, they got a 600-pound jersey on the Statue of Liberty.
That's just a big fat lady.
She
hands out porno cards.
Listen, I want to tell you real quick, though. Eventually, they're going to have to take that jersey down. Joe, they're going to do that to one of your old girlfriends, probably going to fix his fine.
Carmine, I can't believe you just opened up that fucking rabbit season now. Guys, they matched up well with the Kings, and I want to congratulate the Knights. They're a great team. They're doing something expansive team. There's never done in any sport, but they match up well. Remember, statistically, they have the easiest schedule in the NHL. They will do something that no other team has done, getting this far. However, they might have problems with San Jose, and even on to the next where they play Nicole, Winnipeg. The one thing the Kings did in Game 2, and when they were giving them a hard time, was play them physically. They're going to start playing some physical teams, have some problems. They're going to have some problems, but I do wish them luck. Love you guys, the Knights.
But there's a unique nature to the sport, hockey, where you can get a goaltender who can stand on his head, and it really can just incredibly change, an entire franchise, right? So, I mean, that's an amazing thing that you end up getting Fleury. You have no salary cap problems, and then you take this expansion team and do things that no expansion team has ever done in any sport.
Michael Sartain. By the way, I want you guys to know, I want our viewers to know, by the way, I may spend a lot on my suits, but I don't spend half as much as these two guys spend on their hair.
That is true.
They're fucking killing me.
That is true.
Aren't they good looking? Aren't they cute? Don't they have good hair?
Gentlemen, 1 week from tomorrow, lives will change. Dreams will come true.
Roofies become legal for Carmine.
There'll be some heartache as well. This is all happening in Dallas. This is the first time ever in Dallas that it's happening. Gentlemen, you know what I'm talking about.
The NFL draft.
I need to go over it. Well, I want to tell our viewers right now that you need to go to platinumair.tv where you can listen live, chat live, email us your questions. Only show that you can really interact with like that, Joe.
Guys, no other show like ours out there. I want to thank all of our listeners and viewers. They are multiplying like Pittsburgh Steelers sex offenders. I want to thank you. Without you, we wouldn't be here. You guys make us who we are. So thank you. We love you, and keep tuning in. It's going to get better and better.
All right, we're going to talk backfield, behind the scenes. All right, this is our segment called Backfield, behind the scenes, where I give you exclusive inside information. All right, we didn't get to finish talking about the draft in the last segment. Here's how everybody's got it breaking down. Browns pick Sam Darnold. G-Men, Giants pick Saquon Barkley. Lake Mayfield goes next. Here's how I see it. The Browns are in love with this Josh Allen guy. The G-Men will take Sam Darnold, and then the Patriots will move up and get Saquon Barkley. That's what I see happening. That finishes that segment. Here's what I got on the inside information.
Wait, real quick though. Outside of Baker Mayfield, you can throw those other quarterbacks right out. They're garbage. They're Johnny Manziel and reincarnated. I want our viewers and listeners to know that.
It's a shot.
They're both shit. They're shit. Michael, you want to say anything about
I think I think the Browns are actually interested in Darnold, but they're making a play. They're actually trying to fool somebody. And I could see them. I believe they have the 5th pick also, right? They've got 2 picks in the top 5. I could see them getting Saquon Barkley with the 2nd pick. With their 2nd pick, it just depends. Who knows? But I agree with him. These quarterbacks, you just don't know. Even Baker Mayfield is really small. We're talking,
but he does have a good quarterback mind.
But is he Drew Brees? Because that's who he's got to be. He's basically a 5'11" guy who's supposed to be able to run around. Does he have the strength and the ability to make decisions and play in the NFL?
Well, I'm telling you, no one's talking about what the Patriots are going to do. Every mock draft does not have the Patriots doing anything. Like I said last show, they're going to go after Saquon Barkley. Here's what my inside information is telling me. Right now, Aaron Rodgers is pissed at that shitty organization, the Packers. So this is what they did. They got rid of his best receiver, Jordy Nelson. They got rid of his quarterbacks coach, Alex Van Pelt. They didn't ask him, like, hey, what he thought about this. He signed through 2019. They got serious problems when Jimmy Garoppolo, Kirk Cousins, and Matthew Stafford are all making about $8 million more than him. This is going to come to a head. They got problems in Green Bay.
Anymore, though, Carmine. He really is. And by the way, you have a lot in common with Aaron Rodgers. If you guys Google Carmine the Hardline, you'll find his porno movies from the 70s.
Yeah.
Carmine was famous for doing a lot of things.
In the 70s,
that
I was like a year old.
Particularly male performers, but I want you to know, he's getting old. He's not a kid anymore, Aaron Rodgers. You got to know that, Carmine.
Well, listen, they got problems in there. Here's another inside exclusive information I'm going to give you. Des Bryant's not going to stay within that division. He's not going to go to the Redskins. He's not going to go to the Giants. 2 teams he's going to. You heard it here first. He's either going to Seattle or he's going to the Panthers. You had something to say about that.
Yeah, I think Seattle and the Panthers would be great fits for him. I'm not really sure about the Panthers just because I just watching him play for his entire career, they don't have a super accurate quarterback, but I also do know that this guy is a pretty vindictive dude. He also made a comment about the process, kind of referring to Philadelphia in one of his tweets. So I'm thinking if he plays for a lower number and goes to play for Philadelphia, I could see that happening just because he is a very intense, somewhat spiteful guy. But I'm always going to be a Des Bryant fan no matter where he goes to play.
Yeah, ever since he broke his foot, Joe, he just doesn't have the breakaway speed. He can't get separation. Keep an eye on that way that situation unfolds. Do you have anything for me on the inside information?
I mean, I personally think you were talking about perfect fit for LeBron, and what I've heard before is Philadelphia.
Okay.
I could see you have two guys. The thing is, Houston, I know that's what you said last time, and I could see that, but with Philadelphia, you have the situation where you have an incredible point guard, an incredible center, and he would fit in right there. Whereas people have talked about him playing with Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee. They play the same position. Same thing in Los Angeles. If George Paul comes there, Carmelo Anthony, whoever, he plays the same position. But I think in Philadelphia, you play in that weaker Eastern Conference. I think he could go to the finals 4 more times if he goes there.
A lot of egos if he goes to Houston. A lot of egos.
Yep.
Plus, it's not a media city. Philadelphia's a bigger city.
First time in 10 years they're this low in the seeding, number 4 seed. All right, here comes our next segment, End Zone. Top picks of the week. All right, this is End Zone, our top picks. Joe, Mike, the weather can't stay like this. It's going to get warmer. These teams are starting to get into a groove again. I'm going to concentrate on baseball only for the picks. Joe, you can critique them after. Here's what I got. These are the picks, and I know our show will be up Friday, 420 national holiday. Everybody loves it. Here's our picks that you can go ahead and bet for 421 Saturday. The pitching matchups, everything are in the favors. I did my research. I like the Diamondbacks over the Padres. I like the Yankees over the Blue Jays. I like the White Sox over the Astros. I like the Astros over the White Sox. The White Sox are at home. And I like the Angels over the Giants.
Well, Carmine, one thing you're not looking at in your baseball picks, and I'm not going to disagree with you on your picks, you're picking teams that are going to be $2, $2.50, and almost $3 favorites, which I don't go above $1.50. If you want a winner, you go to www.aasi wins, or call my free pick call, 1-800-563-8854. That's Joe, 8854, on a recorded message, a free winner every day. I want to talk NBA. The one thing you got to worry about baseball, Carmine, is lines, and I won't go above $1.40. A couple of losses of that puts you really behind the 8 ball. You need to go on a run. You got to be very careful. Some of the games you mentioned, they're going to win, but I won't lay $2, $2.50 on those favorites. The NBA, I mean, you're looking at Toronto, who took 2 from Washington. They go into Washington. They're still going to be a small favorite. They got a chance of beating the sweeping Washington. They're on another level. I will tell you this, Boston will win. They're going to Milwaukee. You're going to get a lower price. Might even see a pick 'em there. I still like Boston. The Philly-Miami series, they match up well. Be careful there of the lines. Indiana-Cleveland, I'll tell you right now, Indiana blew them up the first game. Cleveland will come back and probably win the second. That's before we tape. That's as of taping. They didn't play yet. I will tell you, though, that's going to be a tough series because Indiana's not afraid of them. The Houston-Minnesota, 10, 11, 12 points laying. You can't lay it. You got to keep taking. Golden State, San Antonio. San Antonio's got to make a showing sooner or later, but don't go for the Duper factor. Stay away. The Pelicans, I had them in Game 1 and Game 2. They're going to go at home now, and they'll still be a dog. Play the Pelicans all the way. They're going to win that series. Oklahoma City, Utah. Utah plays them well. They might have a chance of upending them and taking 2 in Utah. Be careful there. Michael.
The thing with Utah is I just don't feel like they match up well, especially with the way Rudy Gobert is always he's getting into foul trouble. And you have a team that's really, really good at rebounding the ball. 3 guys who can score individually in Oklahoma City. But I will tell you this, that where you could see an upset that people aren't seeing is this Minnesota series. If they can just get their head out of their ass and start getting that ball to Karl Anthony Towns underneath in the paint, you could actually see Minnesota making a play for this. But if they don't, and they play the way they've been playing all year with this slow tempo basketball, Houston is just going to run them out of the building. I don't see the San Antonio Spurs. I see that team with too much pride. I don't see them getting swept. That's the only thing. But they're definitely not going to win that
series. By the way, Michael was on the red carpet recently with Nicole Arbour. What was that like, Mike?
Nicole Arbour?
Yeah,
she's one of my favorite people in the world. That girl is incredibly funny.
Did you put your finger on her name?
No, you know what? Nicole, she is so far out of my league. There is no way. Nicole, if you're watching
this. You had your hands full with her.
Nicole Arbour is so far out of my league.
You're out of his league. You're not in mine. Come step up, baby. Come step up to the major leagues, darling.
Yeah, she's an amazing person.
You were great on the red carpet once again. I want our people to know out there, Michael's going to be on a sister show coming up shortly. But, guys, he is known all over, not just Vegas, but all over the country as a great MC and a great host of special events. He's amazing. At one point, I know he went out to bigger and better. He was the guy to know in all the clubs here in Vegas when they were the hottest clubs in the world. But Mike and I have been friends a long time.
I'm just kind of recently meeting Michael. Joe, before we started our segment, you had some solid numbers on what you're doing at your sports site.
Yes. At www. Let me try it again. I'm hooked on. You guys sent me back. I was hooked on phonics. www.aasiwins. That's ASI wins. Guys, we got 60 or 70 world champion handicappers. You get free games every day. You get articles. You get everything you want. I got a newsletter. It's a dynamite newsletter. Guys, go there or call my free pick phone, 1-800-563-8854. Every day on a recorded message, you get to hear my beautiful voice.
And Joe, I wanted to mention one more thing that you said, and you talked about how the viewers are contacting you about the show.
Guys, I'll tell you what, the response by you, the viewers, have been overwhelming. We have a lot of fun, but you're getting great contact here. There's no other show in the world like this show. We're going to keep bringing new guests on. We got a boxing thing perhaps happening in another few more weeks. And I want you to know, we might even be bringing back wonderful guests like Michael Sartain himself. Michael?
Yeah, you know what you were saying before? I'm really privileged to be on the show. I used to work in sports radio a long time ago. But my whole thing is I host charity events. That is all I do now, pretty much. I have an anti-bullying charity called Smash Global that I work with, and then a charity for raising toys for children, and also supporting the troops and animal rescue called Babes in Toyland. And then finally one for the homeless in Los Angeles. It's called the Model Citizen Fund. So if you guys want to get involved in any one of those things, these are top-end, extremely reputable charities, and pretty much that's what I do with my free time now. I try to raise money for them.
What I would love to get involved. I do charity just putting Carmine on the show.
Oh, hey, actually, let's speak about this. Monday's Dark. That's the other one that I'm involved with here.
I'm doing something there too.
Monday's Dark here in Las Vegas. Every 2 weeks, a different local charity, and so pretty much that's what I do with all my time. Since I left the military, I try to find different charities and try to raise awareness for the.
What branch were you in?
I was in the Air Force. I was a captain in the Air Force. Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you on the show. Definitely want you to come back on the show. Joe, I just got a few seconds to go, and I meant to ask you this the other. I'm serious.
I appreciate it. I don't date guys.
Listen,
thank you. I'm only into chicks.
Yeah, okay, listen. We're out of time. It was a good question. It was a good question.
You were going to sing me.
It was a good question.
You were going to sing me, and I singed you first. You were going to sing me.
All right, I want to give a special thanks to the following charities. All right, I want to give a special thanks to the Global Sports Foundation. It's a charity that gives used sporting equipment to underprivileged kids and adults all over the world. Real nice charity, real good feeling there, Joe.
That's great. Thank you, guys. Without you, we wouldn't be here. I'd also like to thank Adaptive Sports Access for Wounded Warriors, a charity that helps to heal servicemen and women by giving access to participate in adaptive sports events. Guys, thank you very much. Without you, we wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be here without you viewers and listeners.
All right, don't forget to go to Platinum Air TV, where you can listen live, chat live, email us your questions. We've answered all the questions we've got. We really do appreciate your support. All right, I want to thank our special guest, Michael Sartain. Michael, how do people reach you? How do people contact you?
The easiest way for me would be on social media, on Instagram at Michael Sartain, Sartain, and then the 4 charities I work with, again, Babes in Toyland charity, Model Citizen Fund, Smash Global, and then Monday's Dark here in Las Vegas.
All right, another great show. Thanks for our viewers. We'll see you again soon.